Hey family, hope all is well. Glad to have you back in the house for another video. Wanted to take this moment to talk a little bit about partnership strategies that work. I'm your host, Dr. William Clark, here for another co-work with me session. And we use this time together to talk about different things that can help advance and enhance your business. And today I want to talk a little bit about partnership strategies that work. Now, I want to share this with you, just kind of set the stage to help you understand where growth for your micro business comes from, how it works, how it really moves towards this space of being a mini business to something that can really be transformational for you and your family. Now, the first thing I want you to understand about partnership strategies that work is that you have to understand your current position and your current capacity. And what does that mean? That simply means that if you are in this space where you are working to build your business and you're trying to figure out how to grow your business and how to elevate it to its next stage, you have to be clear about who you are and what your business is able to accomplish right now. It doesn't make any sense to try to build and grow a business that is not yet in the stage and space of doing more when your business cannot do more. And when we're talking about your business, it could be you, it could be your team, it could be whatever infrastructure you set up. And it is important to understand that limitations to your capacity will have a direct impact on your business ability to grow. So in order for you to establish this business to grow and to become what you envision it can be, you have to identify the right partners and partnerships that can work for you. But in order for that to work, you have to understand your current capacity. You can't approach partnerships as if you have more than you're able to offer or provide, or as if you can do more than your ability says it can deliver on, right? Because if somebody calls you out on your capacity and says, that sounds great, when can you get started? The worst thing that can happen is you not being able to do the work, start on the work, complete the work, participate in the work, and not do the part that you spent so much time talking about in this conversation. Now, part of understanding your current capacity and your position is not just so that you don't overtalk your position and abilities, but that you can understand who you really are and where you are right now in your growth stage or in your life cycle of your business, because then that feeds into this next strategy when it comes to partnerships. And that is, you have to find bigger players than you. And so if you're going to partner well, you really should not be partnering in a parallel or a horizontal way, right? You really want to partner up. You really want to tie your ability to grow to organizations and businesses, entrepreneurs who are doing what you envision doing, who've been doing it bigger, badder, and better for a number of years. Now, how do you determine who the right partners are? Well, the one way that I think you can use to help determine the right partners, particularly if you're trying to figure out who's bigger than you, is to identify partners based on performance. What are their outputs? What are they producing? Who are they working with? What type of results are they generating? And how can you connect to those who are doing well? Now, what's interesting is I just had a conversation with someone for a project that I'm working on. And this particular group is, they got to be, I would say, 10x bigger than me. And as a matter of fact, it's worth doing the math here because I think it really tells a story. Let's see here. 16, I was wrong, 16x. They're 16x bigger than us. And so they are significantly bigger than who we are. But this individual was just sharing some things. It was pleasant introductions and whatnot. So this individual was sharing some things with me to kind of let me know what's going on in the industry and what's new and their growth story and their growth trajectory. And then this person decides that it's probably best for me to touch base with their local team, because their local team is right in our backyard, and their local team is likely doing If you want to be conservative, 20, 15, 20% of their book of business, if that, probably a little less, and still is likely bigger than us, right? So that goes back to the first point about understanding your capacity, understanding your positioning, understanding what you can and can't do, understanding that you probably can't compete. Even with their weakest link, we can't compete right now. And so you have to understand this. However, what am I after? What am I interested in? I'm interested in connecting with those who are bigger and better than us, who are at a different stage than us, those that we can learn from, those that we can support, those that we can later compete against for huge opportunities. But you can't, I can't, we can't do that unless we understand where we stand and we understand who we are dealing with in terms of competitors and partners. And quite frankly, the word that probably makes sense for this particular conversation is, can this group, can this entity serve as a mentor for you, right? Someone who can guide you along the way to help you avoid some easy pitfalls and who will not see you as a threat. I can go on and on about that particular point because there's so much rich information in that second bullet here about finding bigger players based upon performance. Third point, partnership strategies at work, be humble, right? So you're going to have to find yourself in a place where you can be a humble partner, contributor, member of the relationship where you are playing your role, you're staying in position, you're not outspeaking your capacity, you're doing what you said you can do, you're following through on commitments, and you're doing a lot more learning. And then you're allowing others to talk about your work and to bring your work to the forefront as an opportunity for recognition. But you're not after the recognition. You're after the opportunities that says, hey, can you partner in this small way on this project to do X? That's what you're looking for. The recognition, the branding, the marketing. I mean, some people chase after that, and that's all great. But if you have all that branding, marketing, and recognition with no revenue, what was it for? What's the purpose? At the end of the day, you want to be at the table, so you got to be humble. You got to not downplay what you do, but don't overtalk, overstate what you do. Even if you do something well, that's not the time for it, particularly in that partnership environment. So we talked about understanding your current position. We talked about finding bigger players based upon performance. We talked about being humble. Lastly, one of my favorites, you got to add value no matter what. It doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, got to add value because it's about the relationship. It's about the connection. It's about how can I help you. I may not be able to do big size things for you, but if I can just do just one little piece, will that help solve the problem? Will that help alleviate stress? Will that help open doors? Will that help close the deal? Will that help you serve your customers well? Will that help in any way strategically for you? And if I can do that, I know that I'm on my way to building a solid relationship, relationships that can add value, not only for them, but for me as a small micro business. And so your ability to add value, your ability to contribute, your ability to keep your word, your ability to stay focused, your ability to stay in alignment with what this group, this bigger group is working on is critical for you. These are four strategies, four partnership strategies that simply work. I've used these strategies over and over and over again in various businesses and projects that I worked on. I wanted to share this with you because I think for you, if you can find your way to implement one or more of these strategies, you might see the movement you're looking for in your business move in the right direction. But it comes from working with the right people. Who are you working with? Who you partner with? That can make a significant difference in the goals that you're trying to accomplish. With that being said, y'all be safe, stay warm out in this weather, and we'll catch you next time. See everybody.